I woke up early, the sunlight touching my face like it always did. I rubbed my eyes and smiled. Another busy day, Erez, I whispered to myself. I could already smell tea from the kitchen. Aisha always woke up first. She said she liked taking care of me. I believed her. I walked in. "Good morning," I said. She turned, gave a small smile. "Morning. You're up early again?" "I like being early. Makes me feel strong," she laughed softly. "You and your father were the same. Hearing that made me proud. He taught me everything. I just hope I'm doing good." "You are," she said, but her eyes drifted to her phone. She picked it up quickly, screen facing away. I didn't ask. "Love means trust, right?" I sat. "Where's Danielle?" "Still sleeping?" She shrugged. "Probably. Your brother loves sleep more than anything." "He used to love cricket more," I joked. "You spoiled him," she teased. "You raised him like a son, not a brother." "I did what I had to," I said quietly. "After Dad, I promised myself I'd protect him." Aisha paused, then smiled again. "You're a good man," her phone buzzed. She grabbed it fast. "I'll just answer this upstairs." I waved it off. "Work call?" "Yeah, probably." She didn't look at me as she rushed out. I stared at my tea. I didn't like how the moment felt, but I shook my head. "Don't be silly, Erez," I whispered. "You're lucky. I left for work." Samir met me at the company entrance. "Look who finally arrived," he joked. "I was 5 minutes early. That's late in your book." I smiled. "I try." "You try too much," he slapped my shoulder. "Relax sometimes. You have a wife, a house, a good business. Enjoy it." "Maybe after we secure the new deal," I replied. Samir rolled his eyes. "Work robot." Inside, employees greeted me. "Morning, sir." "Good day, boss." I felt proud, not arrogant. This company was my father's dream. I carried it like a sacred duty. In my office, Danielle walked in, messy hair. "Pi, I need the car keys. I'm going out. To study or to waste fuel?" I teased. He chuckled. "Both?" "You should come work with me instead," I said. "Learn something," he made a face. "Business is boring. I'll join later." "You promise that every month." "I mean it this time," he insisted. I laughed. "All right. Keys are in my drawer. Just be home early." "Sure," he said, but his voice felt distant. I brushed the thought away. Later, Mom called. "Beta coming for dinner?" "Of course," I answered. "Wouldn't miss it." "You work too much," she scolded warmly. "Aisha tells me." "She worries too much," I replied. "She loves you," Mom said. "Hold on to that." "I will," I promised. Evening came. Dinner was warm, full of jokes. Danielle laughed with Mom. Aisha served food with a smile. I felt safe, whole. I held Aisha's hand under the table. She didn't pull away, but she didn't hold me back tightly either. I ignored the small hurt. At night, I sat in the living room finishing emails. Aisha said she was tired and went to bed early. Danielle went upstairs too. I didn't think much. Around midnight, I walked to turn off lights. That's when I heard a whisper upstairs near the hallway. Aisha's voice, soft. "Don't worry. He won't notice." I froze. My stomach twisted. Then Danielle's low voice. I couldn't hear the words, but the tone felt secretive, close, wrong. I stood there, heart beating fast. My throat felt dry. Should I go up? Should I ask? No, I shook my head. Stop thinking nonsense, I told myself. They're family. I forced a breath, forced a smile that no one could see. I am happy, I whispered. I am lucky. I turned off lights and tried to steady my breath. Marriage means trust, I whispered. I climbed into bed beside Aisha, eyes open in the dark. Everything is fine, I told myself again. But a small doubt settled inside me, soft but sharp, like a quiet flame waiting to grow in silence. I walked into the house earlier than usual, smiling faintly at the thought of surprising Aisha. I had even bought her favorite dessert, wanting a peaceful night. Maybe we talk tonight, I whispered to myself, imagining us laughing again. But the moment I stepped in, I heard laughter upstairs. Her voice, and another voice, a male voice. My heartbeat stumbled and then raced. Who's here? I muttered, gripping the dessert box tighter. I climbed the stairs slowly, each step feeling like a weight tied to my chest. Their laughter grew clearer, familiar. Danielle. My stomach twisted. I reached our bedroom door and pushed it open. Aisha and Danielle stood too close. His hand brushed her arm. She didn't move away. They both froze at the sight of me. What is this? I whispered, breath gone. Aisha didn't look shocked enough. Daniel didn't even blink. He smirked like he had been waiting for this moment. You're early, Aisha said, voice flat. Yeah, I replied, numb, and clearly unwanted. Daniel stretched casually. Well, brother, timing really isn't your thing. Move away from her, I said to him. Aisha stepped closer to him instead. Stop acting like you own me. I'm your husband, I said, voice breaking. She laughed bitterly. You think marriage makes you a man? I stared at her. Just tell me what this is. We were talking, she said sharply. I pointed between them. Talking never looked like this. Daniel chuckled. You always were naive. My throat closed. Aisha, look at me. Tell me the truth, she rolled her eyes. You never listen. You only hear what suits your hero fantasy. I built a life for us, I whispered. You built a cage, she snapped. You smother with kindness. It's pathetic. I loved you, I said, and I wanted ambition. Fire, strength, she replied. Not someone who hides behind loyalty. I turned to Daniel. You were my brother, he smirked. And you were my obstacle. I raised you, I breathed. I fought the world for you, he shrugged. Should have fought for yourself instead. How long? I asked, voice shaking. Long enough to know she deserves better, he said. Aisha nodded. You never satisfied my heart or my dreams. My knees weakened. Why didn't you talk to me? Because you would cry and beg, she said. And I'm done with weakness. So love is weakness now? I asked. No, she said coldly. Your kind of love is... I felt the air leave my lungs. I thought we were forever. You thought wrong, she replied simply. I whispered. What did I do so wrong? You trusted too easily, Daniel said mockingly. You believed loyalty matters in real life. I wiped tears angrily. I can't stay here? Good, he smirked. Walk out. It suits you, I took a shaky breath. One day, betrayal eats itself. Keep your poetic lines, Aisha muttered. They won't save you. I stared at them both one last time. I hope whatever you gain is worth what you killed. They didn't move. Didn't speak. Didn't feel. I walked out slowly, feeling like my bones would collapse. Thunder rolled outside. Rain hammered the earth, loud and merciless. The wind cut through me like glass. My heart felt hollow, bleeding into the storm. I stood there breathing like a man dragged underwater. Why wasn't I enough? I whispered. No answer. No footsteps behind me. No apology. Just rain, darkness, and the sound of something inside me breaking piece by piece. I kept walking without knowing where I was going. The streetlights flickered like my thoughts, unsteady and broken. I whispered, maybe pain teaches strength. But the rain swallowed my voice. No one waited for me. No one cared. And I realized tonight wasn't just betrayal, it was rebirth through ruin alone. I barely slept. When morning came, I stared at the ceiling and whispered, I will not break. My chest still hurt, but I forced myself to stand, dress, breathe. The company is mine. I built it. Dad trusted me. Saying it out loud felt like holding onto a cliff edge. I drove to the office early, hoping no one would see the shaking in my hands. When I stepped out, the building felt colder than usual. I nodded to the front guard. Good morning, he hesitated. Sir, I swiped my card. It blinked red. I tried again, red. I frowned. Is the system down? He looked away. No, sir, my stomach twisted. Try again, I whispered, swiping once more. Red. My heart sank. 2 security guards stepped forward. Sir, we were told you cannot enter, my voice cracked. Excuse me? Orders, one muttered, eyes low. I felt the ground move under me. From who? A slow clap echoed from behind. Daniel walked forward, perfect suit, fake confidence. From the board, boss. That word stung like acid. I stared at him. You don't have the right, he smirked. I do now. Paperwork's done. Everything's final. I shook my head. You can't just take what isn't yours. He leaned closer. I already did. Move, I said to the guards. No one moved. A soft voice followed. Errors don't make this ugly. Aisha stood behind him, heels clicking, face calm like she didn't destroy my life yesterday. I whispered, I loved you. She blinked. Don't make this emotional. It's business. Business? My throat burned. You ruined a marriage. You stole my company. You were holding it back, she said coldly. We're saving it. I laughed, broken. Saving it? By betraying me? Danielle shrugged. Stop whining. You always acted like you were above everyone. I worked, I said. I sacrificed everything. And now we take our turn, he shot back. Employees gathered. I heard whispers, pity, shock, fear. My face burned. I spotted Uncle Farouk near the lobby, his eyes glassy. He whispered, Beta. I couldn't look at him longer or I would fall apart. Mr. Salman walked out next, unable to meet my eyes. Aries, it's best you step away peacefully. You knew my father, I said. You promised him you'd support me, he swallowed. Times change. No, I whispered. People change. Aisha crossed her arms. Security, walk him out, I stepped back. Don't touch me. My voice was low but sharp. I felt something inside me break, clean and final. You two think you won? Danielle smirked. Looks like it, boss. That word again. I clenched my fists. Enjoy it. Everything earned through betrayal rots, he rolled his eyes. Spare me the hero lines. I faced Aisha. I hope you remember this moment the day it all burns. She looked bored. Goodbye, Erez. I turned, legs heavy like stones. As I walked past employees, heads bowed. Some whispered sorry, some cried silently. Uncle Farouk covered his face. I kept walking. If I stopped, I would collapse. Outside, wind hit my face like a slap. I reached my car but couldn't breathe. My hands trembled on the wheel. How did my life fall apart in one day? I whispered. No answer came. Just silence. Heavy, cruel silence. I drove home. Or somewhere. I don't even remember. Hours passed like shadows. The world moved, but I didn't. I sat alone in my room, staring at the wall until the air felt thick. My phone stayed silent. No apology. No regret. Nothing. Finally it rang. I jumped. Samir, I answered weakly. Hey, his voice panicked. Where are you? I heard something happened. Are you okay? I let out a shaky breath. No. What did they do? They took everything, I whispered. Everything. Silence on his end, then rage. I'm coming. Don't move. I don't know how to breathe, I admitted. I feel like my chest is breaking. Hold on. I'm coming right now. I didn't even cry yet. Tears felt stuck somewhere deep, trapped by shock. I sat there numb, hearing only my heartbeat and a faint echo of Danielle's mocking voice in my head. Boss. It played again and again, cutting deeper each time. I shut the apartment door and leaned my forehead against the wood, breathing in the quiet. It isn't home. It feels like a temporary shelter after a storm that hasn't truly passed. I whisper to myself, I'm fine. Lies taste bitter, but they help me stand. My phone buzzes. My mother's name flashes on the screen. Beta, when are you coming home? You sound tired these days. I'm okay, Ami, I say, forcing calm. Just busy settling in. You left your house, your office, everything? Why didn't you tell me earlier? Her voice trembles. I'm your mother. I shut my eyes. I didn't want you to worry. How can I not worry? Did someone hurt you? Tell me, I swallow hard. I'm fine. I just needed space. Come stay with me. I can't, not now. Silence fills the line. Heavy and painful. You don't have to pretend with me, she whispers. I'm not pretending. I lie again. My voice weakens. I just need time, she sniffs. I don't know what happened. But whoever hurt you, Allah will deal with them. Ami, please don't cry. Then come home. I will soon, I promise, knowing I'm not ready. When I hang up, I let the empty room swallow the truth I can't speak. My mother's tears feel like knives. I sit on the floor. The room feels too wide, too silent. My thoughts drag me backward. Aisha's laugh, her hand slipping a bracelet onto my wrist on my birthday. It's simple, she'd said. But it reminded me of you. At the time, it felt sincere. Now it feels like a taunt, a joke wrapped in silver. Was any of it real? I whisper to the bracelet resting in my palm. A knock snaps me out of it. I open the door. Samir stands there holding 2 coffees. You look like hell, he says. I feel worse. He walks in and sets the cups down. Say it! What? Say you hate them, I laugh hollowly. I don't hate anyone. You should. I hate myself more. His expression darkens. No, don't do that. I trusted them blindly. Who does that? Who hands their life to people and smiles like an idiot? You loved. You believed. You don't apologize for being a good person. I shake my head. Good people get destroyed. He sits beside me. Only temporarily. I stare at my coffee. I feel empty. That's grief, not weakness. I feel like everything inside me died. No. You just lost what should have been yours from the start. I rub my face. I keep thinking I'm stupid. You're human. I should have seen the signs. Samir's jaw clenches. Don't rewrite history to punish yourself. I won't survive this if I feel this every day. You will, he says firmly. And one day you'll be grateful you walked away before you turned like them. I chuckle bitterly. I didn't walk. I was shoved. Fine, you were shoved. But now you get to rebuild without snakes at your feet. Tears sting, and I try to hide them. Why wasn't I enough? You were too much, he corrects. Too loyal. Too sincere. People like them don't know what to do with purity except break it. I exhale shakily. I swear I'll never let emotions blind me again. Good, he says. Be smart. Be cold when needed. But don't lose your heart in the process. I look at him. I don't know who I am without trust. You'll learn. We sit in silence. Samir stays until I stop shaking. When he leaves, the quiet returns. I lie in the dark. My chest feels hollow, but beneath the ache, something tiny burns. Anger, dignity, maybe rebirth. I stand up slowly, swallowing the ache. I won't break, I whisper, even if my voice shakes. The walls can't answer, but I pretend they believe me. I imagine facing them again, not with tears, but with proof. One day they'll wish they never pushed me out, I tell the air. Maybe it's hope. Maybe it's stubbornness. But it's mine. And tonight, that has to be enough. I breathe, steady and deliberate, promising myself I will rise again tomorrow. I keep going forward. I woke up with a strange calm in my chest, like the storm inside me had finally grown tired of destroying me. I washed my face, stared at my reflection, and whispered, Not today. I won't break today, Samir called. Alive? Barely, I said, but a faint smile touched my lips. He exhaled. That means you're fighting. I don't know what I'm doing, I admitted. You're breathing, he replied. That's enough for a start. I put on my shoes and stepped outside. The air felt cleaner, the light softer. I walked slowly, hands in pockets, letting the world exist around me again. At the park, I saw her, Mira, sitting on a bench with a notebook, hair tied casually. Expression calm like she was born from stillness. She glanced up. Rough morning? I blinked. Is it that obvious? You look like someone who forgot how to breathe, she said gently. I sat cautiously. I'm trying to remember. Slow inhale, she murmured, demonstrating. 4 seconds, I followed awkwardly. And release, I exhaled shakily. Feels strange. Pain changes the way lungs work, she said. We relearn. I breathed again, slower. She smiled slightly. Better. Why are you helping me? I asked. You look like you used to carry the world and now you're learning to carry yourself. I swallowed. I lost everything. Or life removed what wasn't yours, she replied. My chest tightened. Feels the same, she nodded. Loss always feels like theft before it becomes freedom. I looked down. I thought loyalty meant stability. It means heart, she said. And not everyone has one. I closed my eyes. I hate that I still feel weak. Strength isn't loud, she whispered. Sometimes it's just staying alive one more day. I breathed again, deeper. What if I never heal? You already started, she said. You came outside. I didn't know why her words settled inside me like seeds. Maybe because she didn't pity. She understood. I stood slowly. Thank you. Walk, she said. Let your feet remind your heart it's still moving. I walked for an hour. And for the first time since my world shattered, my steps didn't feel like punishment. Back home, I opened my laptop. Blank screen. Blank life. I whispered, start anywhere. And I sent emails for small consulting projects. I wasn't a CEO now. I wasn't even sure I had value. But I tried. And trying felt like rebellion. My phone buzzed. Uncle Farouk. I can't stay silent, his voice trembled. They're ruining everything. What happened? I asked calmly. Your brother doesn't understand operations. Projects are late. Clients angry. A bitter taste filled my mouth. And Aisha? She fights with staff. Acts like a queen without a kingdom, he whispered. They think power is ownership. They don't understand power is responsibility. I closed my eyes. Thank you for telling me. I miss you, he said, voice breaking. The office feels wrong without your footsteps. It will get better, I murmured. Truth always comes out, he hesitated. You are stronger than you think. When I hung up, my chest felt warmer. Not with pride, but relief. The universe wasn't blind. Hours later, Samir arrived holding food. Working? Starting again, I said proudly. He grinned. That's my brother. Phoenix mode. Not rising, I corrected softly. Rebuilding. Quietly. Quiet storms destroy more, he nodded. I stared at the window. The sky wasn't heavy anymore. It looked wide, possible. I'm still hurt, I admitted. You're human, he shrugged. I'm still angry. Good, he said. Anger used right becomes fuel. And I still love what I lost, I whispered. That just means your heart worked, he replied. It didn't fail you. They did. I breathed deeply, controlled, steady. I won't let this break who I am. He placed a hand on my shoulder. You never lost yourself. You just misplaced your light in the wrong hands. I smiled faintly. I feel like a spark again. You'll be fire soon, he smirked.
Burn clean. That night, I sat alone.
Not broken. Not healed. Somewhere in between. And that space, unexpectedly, felt alive. For the first time in a long time, I whispered not in pain, but in promise. I'm coming back. And this time, I rise for myself. I sat behind my desk, laptop humming, and Samir leaned against the doorway. Clients are calling already? He asked, eyebrows raised. Not a flood, I admitted, but enough to keep us alive. Samir grinned. That's something. Every empire starts small. Hamid, my lawyer, poked his head in. I went through the contracts again. Danielle's mess might actually help us. Shows who's dependable, I smirked. Unreliable people make reliable people look better, Samir chuckled. You've become cold, man. Focused, I corrected, eyes scanning the latest client email. Cold doesn't pay bills. Focused does. The phone rang. I ignored it. Samir raised an eyebrow, glancing at the caller ID. Aisha. Let her leave a voicemail, I said, fingers tapping the desk. She's worried, Samir muttered. I can hear it in her tone, I laughed softly. Worry isn't concern. It's ego reacting to failure. We worked in rhythm. Emails, calls, proposals, one client signed, then another. Slowly, momentum grew. The office felt alive, not suffocating. Not like before. Samir leaned over a document. Danielle's blown another contract. He promised delivery dates he can't meet. I nodded, lips tight. Classic. Overconfident, underprepared. His ego blinds him. Hamid raised a finger. We could use this. People trust stability. We offer that. Exactly, I said. We let their mistakes do the talking. Later, the office buzzed with news. An employee leaving. Then another. Rumors spiraled. Partners hesitated before shaking hands. I overheard hushed whispers. He's actually competent and calm. I didn't correct them. Didn't need to. Silence speaks louder than any rebuttal. The phone rang again. I let it ring longer. Samir peeked. It's her again, I exhaled, pressing ignore. She left a voicemail. I'm worried about you. The company, your direction. Are you okay? I listened once, then deleted it. No reply. Silence. The calm I felt was intoxicating. She had no power over me anymore. None. Samir whistled quietly. You've got her on edge, I smiled faintly. She thrives on chaos. I give her peace instead. Hours later, I met with a client over video call. Your timeline looks realistic, the client said. You actually seem in control. I leaned back. Control is the easiest when you stop overcomplicating. Samir nudged me afterward. You sound like a CEO. CEO or calm man who refuses to be baited, I said. Hamid dropped by with another update. Investors called. They're nervous about Danielle and Aisha. Your approach reassures them. I nodded, feeling the strange, unfamiliar satisfaction of validation. Not just for me, but for the idea I carried alone through months of doubt. Samir grinned. We're building something solid. Slowly, quietly. Exactly, I said, tapping the desk. No shouting, no chaos. Let them implode on their own. Let the cracks widen. The next day, Danielle called in a panic. I don't understand why this deal is slipping. I stayed silent, letting him flounder. Hamid's expression mirrored mine, calm, unshakable. Aisha sent another message later. I hope you're not letting this get to you. We can talk, I didn't reply. Samir peeked at my phone. Still nothing? Still nothing, I said. Nothing stings a betrayer like a calm man they can't break. Weeks passed. Contracts kept coming. Employees stayed. Rumors of my steady rise spread quietly, like smoke in a silent hall. My phone barely rang with her name, but when it did, I didn't flinch. One afternoon, Samir leaned back in his chair. You've changed, I smiled, feeling the power settle deep inside me. I'm not her puppet anymore. I'm not anyone's pawn. And I don't need to shout to prove it, Hamid chimed in. Your silence is your weapon. She'll realize it soon. Or too late. I glanced at the skyline outside the window. Light glinted off the glass. Perfect, calm, like I felt inside. She thinks she can manage, I said softly. But a house built on ego collapses under its own weight. I just wait and stay calm, Samir nodded. Quiet wins. I leaned back, letting the office hum around me. For the first time in years, I felt it. Power without anger, control without chaos. Silence, patience, focus. They were all I needed. And they were enough. I paced the dimly lit study, fingers trembling over my phone as if courage might suddenly appear on the screen. It didn't. Instead, my heart hammered, reminding me that I'd come too far to go quiet now. I have to do this, I whispered to myself. For me, for my life. I hit the call button. Hello? Danielle's voice came through thick, rough, like he'd been crying. Why are you calling? I need closure, I said. And you owe me honesty. I don't owe you anything, he snapped. I inhaled slow. You do. You broke me silently. At least speak aloud, a beat. Then a bitter breath. Fine, talk. Why did you treat me like I was disposable? You weren't disposable, he muttered. You were too much. Too much love? Too much loyalty? Too much support? Too much expectation, his voice cracked. I couldn't breathe. I blinked. I never asked you for anything except presence. You asked me to be someone good, he whispered. And I failed. Silence spread between us like smoke. I said, You didn't just fail the relationship. You failed yourself, he exhaled sharply. Spare me the speeches. What do you want then? I asked softly. I just want peace. You want peace without accountability. You want punishment, he shot back. No, I said. I want truth. Then I walk away. You already walked. I crawled, I corrected. Now I stand. He didn't reply. I continued. I heard things went bad for you. Financially. A bitter laugh slipped through. Yeah, everything collapsed. I'm sorry, I whispered. Don't, he said. Don't pity me. It's not pity. It's empathy. There's a difference, he sniffed hard. I don't know how to fix anything anymore. You start by facing it, I murmured. Not running? I did run, he admitted. I ran from you. From myself. From everything. My voice softened. I didn't want your success. I wanted your presence. I know that now, he whispered shakily, and I hate myself for learning too late. My heart ached, but didn't break. Then grow, I told him. Not for me. For you, he asked quietly. Can we ever be what we were? No, I said. My voice didn't tremble. Because I'm not who I was, he breathed in slow like swallowing regret. You loved me real. I did. And I left real too. I ruined us. We both cracked, I said. But I stitched. You avoided. For once we understood each other. What now? He whispered. Now we forgive, I said. And we free. He choked on a sound, half grief, half relief. Say something before you go. I don't hate you, I murmured. But I choose me. And He paused, voice breaking. I wish I knew how to choose anything. Start somewhere, I said gently. Start today, a shaky breath. Goodbye? Goodbye, Danielle, I hung up. My chest didn't collapse, it lifted. I wrapped my arms around myself, not from sorrow, but pride. He was a chapter. I am the book. And tonight, I turned a page with dignity instead of rage. I stood in my quiet room, breathing like a person who finally remembered they deserved air. My healing wasn't loud. It didn't need applause. It was simple, steady, mine. And for the first time in a long time, the silence didn't hurt. It healed steady. I wasn't healing for revenge or to prove I was stronger. I was healing because I deserved peace and a path untouched by apologies that never came. I whispered to the quiet, I forgive you, and I forgive me. Then I turned off light, carrying forward. I walked into the office, feeling the hum of energy around me. Samir waved from across the room. You're back in full control, he said, a grin breaking across his face. Not back, I corrected, taking what was always mine. Hamid approached with a folder. Investors are calling. They trust your management style now. Calm, steady, reliable. I smiled faintly. Calm is underrated. The phone rang. I glanced at the screen. Mr. Salman, I picked up. Samir, can we talk? He asked, voice cautious. Of course, I said. Meet me at my office. Minutes later, he walked in, shuffling papers like he was nervous. I want to make things right. Make things fair, I said, not raising my voice. That's all I'm interested in, he hesitated. I'll compensate you, regain your shares, and ensure your rights. I nodded slowly. Everything in writing. No ambiguity. No loopholes. Hamid will prepare it. Hamid handed over the documents. I watched Mr. Salman sign each page, eyes flicking to mine. I understand why this is necessary, he muttered. It's not personal, I said calmly. It's justice. That's enough. Once signed, I leaned back in my chair. That's done. The next day, Aisha called. Samir, I heard about the documents. Please, can we talk? I stayed silent for a long moment, then said, Everything you took, legally, ethically, it's mine now. You and Danielle are removed from authority, her voice faltered. We didn't expect you weren't prepared, I finished. Employees, investors, partners, they know now. I lead, Samir whispered. You've taken it all back. I nodded, though there was no joy in my expression. Back isn't the word. Mine, always mine. Finally recognized. Employees started trickling in, some quietly at first. Welcome back, Samir, one said, voice thick with emotion. Another hugged me before I could react. We knew you'd come back stronger. Tears appeared in a few eyes. I held my hand up. It's okay. Let's get to work. Uncle Farouk appeared at the doorway, eyes bright. Samir. He pulled me into a hug. I'm proud of you. Thank you, I whispered. For believing in me when I didn't even trust myself fully. Hamid dropped by later. Everything's settled legally. You have full control, I exhaled slowly. Control isn't for boasting, I said. It's for keeping balance. For proving calm wins over chaos, Samir laughed softly. Silent victories are the sweetest. I looked out the window, city lights glinting. I don't need celebration, I said. The quiet is louder than applause. Peace is louder than shouting. Employees gathered around, some asking questions, others simply smiling. I answered each calmly. We rebuild, we grow, and we stay steady. Aisha tried calling again. I let it ring. Silence had weight now. My silence spoke what words never could. She had no place here. Danielle sent a text, desperate, pleading. I ignored it. Let the absence of my reply carry the message. Justice isn't loud, it's absolute. Hamid came over. Investors are thrilled. They see leadership, reliability. They see you. I nodded, taking a breath. That's all I need. Recognition isn't my goal. Justice is. Samir leaned on the railing. You're different now, collected, stronger. I'm still me, I said softly. Only quieter. Only steadier. Only focused. Nothing else matters. Hours passed. I watched the office hum with activity. Every email, call, and handshake reminded me what was mine is finally recognized. What was stolen is returned. No fanfare, no loud celebration. Just steady work. Quiet acknowledgement. Victory in its purest form. Uncle Farouk's eyes met mine again. You've done well, he said softly. I simply nodded. I breathed quietly, I said, because silence carries more weight than noise ever could. And in that silence I felt it, the full measure of triumph. Not in applause, not in revenge, not in chaos, but in calm, deliberate reclaiming. What was always mine had finally returned. I stood outside the old house, breathing slowly, feeling nothing but a soft stillness settling inside me. Then the gate creaked and Aisha rushed out. Her eyes were red, her voice trembling. "Please," she whispered, grabbing my sleeve. "Just listen to me." I gently pulled my arm free, feeling her desperation but not matching it. "Aisha," I said calmly, "there's nothing left to talk about." "There is," she cried. "We can fix this. We can try again. I swear I'll change." "I am not broken," I replied quietly. "There's nothing for you to fix." "But you loved me," she whispered. "I did," I said. "And I let go." She shook, tears sliding down her face like guilt made liquid. "Give me another chance," she begged. "I can't lose you. You already lost me the day honesty stopped existing between us. I swear it wasn't what it looked like." "It looked like betrayal," I answered. "And betrayal rarely lies." She tried to hold my hand again, but I stepped back. "I can't forgive myself," she sobbed. "That's your battle," I said. "Not mine anymore." "But Daniel didn't mean—" "I don't care what he meant," I cut in. "Meaning doesn't erase choices." "He regrets everything," she whispered. "Regret doesn't rewind time," I said. "It only teaches consequences." Suddenly Daniel appeared at the doorway, face pale, eyes down. He couldn't even look at me. Shame has its own gravity. "Look at me," I said. He lifted his eyes slowly, guilt drowning whatever pride once lived there. "Do you believe you deserve forgiveness?" I asked. "No," he murmured. "But I wish." "Wishing won't rewrite actions," I said. "Do better elsewhere." He swallowed hard. "I am sorry. I accept your apology," I whispered. "But not your presence." He nodded, defeated, and walked back inside without another word. Aisha cried harder. "Please don't leave me with this pain." "I carried it alone," I replied. "Now it's yours to release." "It's not fair," she choked. "Fairness never promised us anything," I said. "Life doesn't owe comfort." She sank to her knees, voice breaking. "I loved you." "Then let that love make you better, not bitter," I told her. "I don't know how to start again." "Start by being honest, with yourself first." She wiped her tears weakly. "Do you hate me?" "No," I answered. "I don't hate anyone. Why not?" She whispered. "Because hate means there's still a connection." And I released mine. Silence wrapped around us, softer than before. From inside, I heard my mother call, "Come in, Beta." I stepped toward the door, but Aisha's voice chased me. "Will you ever look at me the same again?" "No," I said. And that's how healing works. Inside, my mother looked at me, eyes searching. "Do you hate him?" she asked softly. "I don't," I replied. "Hate binds people. I needed freedom." "But you're hurting," she murmured. "I hurt before. Now I'm healing." "It still feels heavy," she said. "Weight fades when truth replaces grief," I whispered. She touched my cheek gently. "I'm proud of you." "Pain built me," I murmured. "Betrayal shaped me." "And silence protected you," she added. "Yes," I nodded. "And strength came slowly, but it came." "Are you truly at peace?" she asked. "I am," I breathed. "Finally. And karma?" she whispered. "Karma didn't hurry," I said. "But it arrived perfectly." A soft smile touched her face. "You grew without bitterness." "I had to," I said. "Bitterness is a cage. I wanted wings." She nodded slowly. Outside, the evening breeze drifted through the window, gentle and forgiving. "I don't need revenge," I whispered to myself. Closure was enough. My mother squeezed my hand softly. "You let go with grace," she said. "I just stopped trying to hold what wasn't mine anymore." "And now?" she asked. "Now," I exhaled. "I walk forward without looking back." Silence rested again, but it felt warm, like closure instead of emptiness. Outside, footsteps retreated. Aisha and Danielle were gone. For the first time, I didn't chase, didn't cling, didn't ache. I simply breathed and the world felt generous again. I didn't win them back, I won myself. and that victory felt eternal. I walked up the familiar path, gravel crunching under my shoes. Samir trailed a few steps behind, quiet. "You okay?" he asked softly. I nodded, keeping my eyes on the marble stone ahead. "I'm present." "That's enough today." Mira appeared beside me, her hands folded. "It's been a long journey," she said quietly. "You don't have to face it alone." I looked at her, appreciating the honesty. "I'm not looking for saving," I said. "Just walking. You can walk with me if you want." We stopped at my father's grave. The sun hit the stone, warming it gently. "I lost myself for a while," I admitted, voice low. "Chasing anger, pride, illusions. But I'm back now, stronger, clearer." Mira nodded. "I always knew you'd find your way back," I smiled faintly. "Not because someone expected it. Because I stopped expecting myself to fail. I stopped letting their chaos define me." Samir shifted, hands in pockets. "You've grown. I mean, really grown." "And the business? Investors, clients, everyone trusts you." "I didn't grow for them," I said. "I grew for me. Calm is better than loud victories. Stability beats empty triumphs." Mira traced a finger along the stone. "He'd be proud of you, you know." "I hope so," I whispered. "I want him to see I'm not the same boy who faltered. I'm deliberate now, measured." A breeze stirred leaves across the ground. I exhaled slowly. "I used to crave revenge," I admitted. Shouting, striking back, I thought that would heal me. But it only distracted me from myself. Samir chuckled softly. "You're a calmer man now. Stronger without the noise." "I realized," I said, looking down, "that power isn't loud. It's quiet. Patience, control, integrity, that's real strength," Mira smiled faintly. "You've built something better than your old life. Not just in business, but in heart." I nodded, feeling a warm, steady pulse of peace. "I don't want the life I had before," I said. "I want this. The one I built. One step at a time. One choice at a time." Samir leaned against a tree. "And the past, the pain, the betrayal?" "Lessons," I said softly. "Nothing more. They shaped me, but they don't define me." Mira looked at me carefully. "You forgive yourself then?" "Yes," I said firmly. "And I forgive others in silence. Not for them, for me. I won't carry chains that belong to them." I knelt, placing my hand gently on the grave. "Dad, I died once in pride, in loss, in love. But I rise again now. I've rebuilt. Not to prove them wrong, not to avenge, but to be honest, to be real." Samir touched my shoulder. "You've earned peace and respect. Quiet victories last longer than noise ever could." "I understand that now," I said. "I don't need applause or recognition. I breathe, I work, I live deliberately." Mira stepped closer. "And love?" I smiled faintly. "Love, I've learned it doesn't destroy. It teaches. It nurtures. And it begins with being true to myself." We stayed there a while, the sun shifting, the world moving quietly around us. No shouting, no celebration. Just presence. Just the moment. I finally stood, looking out across the cemetery, light catching the stones. "I don't want my old life back," I said softly. "I've built a better one, stronger, calmer, honest." Mira nodded, eyes gentle. "I can walk beside you, but you lead." "I know," I said, and I walk steady now. Not for revenge, not for fear, not for pride. Only for truth, Samir nodded beside me.
"You're finally free."
"From everything that tried to break you." I smiled, taking a deep breath. "I died once in love, but now I live in truth." We left together, slow steps, silent strength. My chest felt light, my heart steady. I didn't need loud victory or recognition. The calm, deliberate life I'd built, that was louder than any shout, and I carried that peace with me, knowing I had finally risen fully, honestly, deliberately,